Hello and welcome to Hemlocks and Loons. Today we got another episode of the Gear Room for you, and we are going to be talking about snow stakes. These right here are two different snow stakes that I own. This is a brand new one that I got this winter, and I'm going to show you how to set these up today. This is what they're going to look like when once we got it completed. We have the snow stake. We're going to add a section of line to it. Here we got a loop on the end, and we got a carabiner. Once I finish showing you how to put these together, I'm going to show you some footage that I took a couple of weeks ago on an overnight trip that I took to Sylvania, where I'll show you how I put these into the ground and how I use them out there. So let's get started. You're going to need a couple of things. Tools first. You're going to need a tape measure. This is one of those razor blade knives. You're going to need a lighter, a pencil. We're going to have to choose ahead of time the carabiners we're going to use. And last but not least, we're going to need some cordage. To start this, I have found that about 2 feet from your stake out to the end of your carabiner is a good measurement. And I have found that cutting 30 inches of the cordage is what works best. So to start, I'm simply going to take my tape measure here and just right here on my table, I'm going to mark out 30 inches so I know where to cut it. And after that, you're done with these two tools. You can put those aside. You're not going to need them again. Next, I'm simply going to take my cordage, line it up with the end of my table, and go to that mark. Open up my blade. And cut my cordage. Now, the reason I have the lighter is so that we can melt the end of this so it doesn't fray. And I try to also get this so it'll slide through that stake. I always go from the curved side to the rounded side, because when these are trying to pull through the snow, this is going to catch much better and hold, versus if you put this side out, it's going to easily push or pull through the snow. So go from what I'm calling the inside to the outside. You can also see on here there's a bunch of different size holes. We want to get our cordage through that small hole. That hole is almost dead center in these stakes. So we take our cord, slide it through that hole, and then we just make a simple overhand knot. Just like that. And then we're going to pull that so it's nice and tight up against the end. Next, we're going to tie a simple overhand on a bite. So you're going to make that bite in that rope. And again, just do a simple overhand knot. The only thing here is you want to make sure you have enough room for that carabiner to go through. That's plenty big enough. Grab your carabiner, clip it on, and there. That's everything you need to set one of these stakes up. I don't know if you can buy these stakes with these pre-set up like this. I've never seen them that way. I've always just done it myself. It doesn't take a whole lot, and I will also, all these items I just used, the stakes, the carabiners, and the cordage, I'll put down in the description with links to them, probably on Amazon. I can't remember the size of this cordage. I think it's 4 mil, but you can go down and look at the link and see the size cordage I used. Now I have 5 more of these to get done, so I'm going to quickly go through and make those up, and that way I'll be ready for going out on my next winter camping adventure. While I'm doing that, I'm going to show you the footage I recorded a couple of weeks ago so you can see how these work out in the field. And I'll see you back here in just a few minutes. So when you put these in, you want to put them sideways, and you're going to pull, snow is going to basically be where my glove is, and you're going to pull this way. So I usually kick them in something like that. And then you gotta get snow on top of them, pack them in there. The drier the snow is, the more time you gotta let that set before you put any weight on it. And the wetter the snow is, usually it'll pack in fairly quick and ice fairly quickly. Once enough time has passed, you can give them a little tug to make sure that they're in there, and if they are, you can go ahead and hook up your lines. And it'll look like this. They can be a little bit of a pain to pull out, so make sure you either use your heel or use your snow shovel to get them, pop them out. I got my hammock all set up here. Got all my snow stakes in. Got it set up with the doors pretty much closed. This side's all good. I'll tighten up all those lines right before I go to bed. The one side, the wind side, I put those in when I first got here. I let them sit for about 2.5 hours before I even hooked them up. Well, it looks like that was about perfect timing. I'm just finishing up the last one now. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of The Gear Room. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my content, you can always go down below and hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel out and doesn't cost you anything. And it also makes my content easier for you to find on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.